welcome to another tutorial. My name's Damien from Deals in Apps. In this tutorial I'm going to run you through Google Drive and Google Docs, and in particular the program we're going to use, which is Google Presentations, to create feature images. Okay, so hopefully you've gone through the Google Drive setup tutorial in order to get this folder on your Google Drive. This folder contains all our templates and files which you can use. Now, as you will find out, these files are read-only, so you need to make copies of them in order to make your changes. Now, the best way to do that is to click on each of these checkboxes and select Make a Copy. Click over to My Drive and you'll see all the copies here. Now, what I like to encourage is for you to keep your Google Drive nice and tidy, so I would like you to select them once again and select Move To, and we want to create a new folder. Let's call it My Deals Templates, and it's selected here, so we're moving all the files into there. And let's click Move. Now there they are, all in here. Now what Google Presentations is a presentations package. It's more or less Google's answer to Microsoft PowerPoint. But we're going to use it to create images. I think it's a great package, a great piece of software. It's very easy to use, and we can store all of our deals, images in here and export them out as we need them. Now, one very important thing to note is the slide size. Now that's the actual size here. So if you do plan on making your own images without using these templates, it's important that you get it the right size. Now if we go to the File menu, down to Page Setup, and flick this over to Pixels, we can see that this slide's set up at 960 by 490. It is a custom size. This isn't a preset size. This is the size that we've come up with to better suit our Deals in Apps templates. So if you are making your own templates, please make them 960 by 490 pixels. Now I'll just run you through the toolbars just so you know what each thing does. First thing you'll see is the New Slide button. All this does is simply make new slides. When it does make a new slide, it is blank though, so what I recommend you do is find the slide that you want to make a copy of, say this one here, right click and select Duplicate Slide. This will make a direct copy of it. That'll save you copy and pasting elements from each slide to the blank canvas. The next button is Undo and Redo. That's fairly self-explanatory. This will undo the last move, and this will redo the last move. The next button is the Paint Format tool. Now if you have an element which you want to copy the style to another element, let's say you have 2 stars, and you want to copy the same colouring, you select the element you want to copy, click the Paint Format tool, then click the next shape and it'll copy the same style. It's a very quick way of copying the same colours and styles from one shape to another. The next button is the magnifying tool. Click on the magnifying glass and draw a rectangle on your screen, and that'll zoom in to that area. You can make your fine tuning, place things exactly where you need them, and then click the Zoom to Fit button to go back to the full screen. The next button is the Select tool. This is just your arrow to select things. Next one is text. We can draw a text box anywhere on the screen and type new text. One thing to note with text, to move it around you really do need to be quite accurate when you select it. You'll see this mouse turn into a 4-directional arrow, meaning you can move it around. If it turns into a cursor like this, you won't be able to move. You have to make sure that you get the 4-angled arrow to move it around. That's the same with everything. Generally, if you move to the edge of the shape, it'll turn into that arrow, allowing you to move things around. And what I like to do is just click to the side to deselect. Anywhere where there isn't anything present, just click to deselect. The next button is the image button. This allows you to bring in other images. And there's a few different ways to bring images in. We can upload, we can take a snapshot if you've got a camera connected. We can do it by URL. If you know where there's an image on the internet, type that URL in there. You can go to your albums, you can hook into your Google Drive. In this example, we'll upload a new image, so we'll click on choose an image to upload. There's my image, and there it is. We can resize using the corner arrows or the corner anchor point. If we use these ones in the middle, you'll find that it squashes. That's not what we want. So in this case, I'm going to go back 1-2 steps. It's very important to use the ones on the corners to keep your image in proper proportion and not squished like this. Okay, the next button is the shapes button, and there's quite a few different options here. We've got all these shapes here to choose from. We've got arrows, we've got callouts and equations. So we'll just select the basic shape here to start with. And once you've drawn your shape, we can either use the paint format like we did earlier, or if you want to color it differently, you've got the fill color and the line color. Fill color has all the preset colors here. If you need another color, just click on custom and you can choose any number of colors here. This makes it darker, this makes it lighter. This is interesting, it makes it transparent. So we might have a transparent shape. Let's pick about 50% blue, and you'll see it's a nice see-through color. Changing the line color, it's the same, very much the same, although we do get the option to make it transparent, meaning there is no line. We do have that option to fill as well. The next button is the line tool. So we can draw lines, arrows, curves, polygons and scribbles. These are all pretty self-explanatory, just go have a play with these. Once you've got your line drawn, you can change the arrowhead, you can change the thickness, and you can change the colour. And just be careful when selecting these things, like I just did. I actually selected the background. You have to make sure you actually select the element that you want. Then we can change the direction. And move it around. So you might want to draw a line from there. Let's get rid of this. From the hamper to the title. The next button is a comment button, we won't need that. The next button is background, I'll talk about this one later. Layout, theme and transitions we don't need. We take a look at template number 2. This template's designed for those that don't have any images for their product or service, so we can just have a nice background with a big heading and off we go. Now we've put together a bunch of backgrounds for you to use, and it's very easy to change. We'll change this background here. Click on the background button, and the options we have here, we can change it to a color. So let's change it to this blue color here. Now we can change it to an image. Now we go back to Google Drive and click on the Deals in Apps Templates folder. Click on Deal Backgrounds and you'll see all these backgrounds we've got in here. We will be adding more, but these are the ones we have here at the moment. So let's try this background here. Click on Done and you'll see it load up. You'll also notice I've got a dark edge on here. This is actually a separate file. We'll delete that and I'll show you how I added that. Once you've got your background set, click on Image to insert another image. Click on Google Drive. Click on Deals in Apps Templates. Click on Deals Backgrounds. And you'll see these files here, Vignette Dark and Vignette Light. Click on Vignette Dark and select. And you'll see that load up. This gives it a nice bit of depth to the image. You'll note that it is going over the logo, so what we can do is move that to the background by making sure it's selected, clicking on the Arrange menu, Order, and Send to Back. And you'll see that the logo panel has now popped to the front. We can change these fonts to different fonts. Just select the font that you want to change, go to the font menu, and you'll see a bunch of pre-selected fonts. If there isn't anything here that you like, simply click on More Fonts and Google will actually load up all of their fonts that they have available, and there are literally hundreds. So go through all this until you find one that you like. Let's try Anton. And that looks okay. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Yeah, that's good. We can change the color. And what I'm thinking now is maybe this dark vignette is probably too dark. The red doesn't really stand out, so I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to change this font too to Anton. And I'm also going to change the color of this to a nice brown. Maybe bring the font size up there, and also the font size up there. Okay, let's look at another template now. Let's go to template number 3. Now you'll see it's a similar sort of style. We've got the logo, we've got the heading, we've got the subheading, and we've got a space for an image. All we've done here is simply coloured the arrows. You can change these colours to any colour you like. Just select on the arrow here, click on the paint bucket and choose a colour. Make that a little bit lighter. Make this one maybe a red. And we're going to need to change the font colour. Maybe a dark blue. Yeah, that's better. Okay, we do have some buttons available for you to put your prices in. In order to copy these over to your slides, select it, press copy. If you do get a message popping up saying that doesn't work, you can use these commands on your keyboard. So I'll go ahead and do that. And paste. And we can put that there. So jump in, have a good play with Google Presentations. It really is a great tool for you to use. You can store all your images in the one file or the one template. Export them out as you need them. And please take a look at the next tutorial on where we customize one of these templates to create our own deal.